Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker. Shut up, I'm talking.
Shut up, I'm talking.
So when you were in St. Louis, you were in a movie.
2 of them.
2 of them.
Feature presentations.
Oddly enough, in the time since, I've tried to find them, and I have no success.
I can't find them either.
So the 2 movies. So what was the first movie?
The first movie was called Amateur Hour.
That sounds apt for you?
And I was a desk clerk at a sleazy hotel.
Well, given your job history, that sounds pretty accurate. So how did you come about this part? How did you find out about it?
I was sitting there. I didn't have a job, oddly enough, at the time.
You're kidding.
And I was bored out of my skull. So this is how bored I was. I started looking at the paper.
What paper?
Newspaper. The newspaper.
Was that the local St. Louis newspaper or what?
Yeah, whatever it was.
All right.
You know. And I just came across this ad that they were open auditions for this movie that they were going to film in St. Louis.
This would have been on Craigslist a couple years later. Okay.
Yeah, maybe, but it was in the local paper.
Okay.
Stop trying to cheapen my experience. You don't fucking know. All right?
My apologies, sir.
Yeah, okay. You're getting out of hand now.
All right.
So I said, well, it was the same day. You had to go down there. And I said, all right, well, I'll go down there. I have literally nothing else to do. So I went down there, and it was like, like a theater or warehouse kind of a thing. And there were a lot of people in there. A lot.
A lot of bored people.
Yeah. And you walk in, you say, okay, what are you here for? And you tell them, and they say, okay. You had to go over to this table, and they had all the, like a stack of each part. You pick the one you wanted, and then you would audition in that part.
You mean they had a stack of scripts for each part?
Yeah, well, Xerox copies of all the whatever lines you wanted to say. So
okay. So
I went and I immediately picked the one that was just one page and it only had 3 or 4 lines on, because I figured, well, how do you screw this up?
Gotta love that confidence.
Yeah, well, I'd never done it before. So I'm sitting there watching these guys, and they're acting in the hallway, and they're doing all this nonsense. And the description of the character was the desk clerk at this hotel. And the description of the guy was, disheveled. And you can tell by looking at him, he hates his job, hates his life, and could not care less what you're doing. And I laughed, and I thought, oh, okay, I've had that job for the last 15 years. I am this guy. Yeah. Believe me, if I know how to not care about whatever your problem is.
So the name of the character was Matt Powers.
Basically. So I thought I had to memorize it, so I'm trying to memorize it while these guys are just, I don't know, they're like doing a whole show in front of me in the hallway.
Uh-huh.
So they finally, they call me in there. It took a long time. So I go in there, and they said, well, and you get up on this little stage, and there's like 3 or 4 people sitting at a table. They said, do you have any, a resume or pictures? And I went, no. So
they said, give me some head shots.
Right. So they said, okay, this woman at the table is going to read with you, the little scene being the other person. And I read it in such a deadpan, I don't give a fuck voice that the guy next to her started to laugh. And I thought, well, I must really be messing it up. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I thought he was laughing at me. And he goes, can you do that again? And I said, okay. Welcome to whatever hotel, just whatever the line was. And I was just completely dead with the 1,000-yard stare and whatever. Well, the guy was laughing again. And I'm thinking, man, maybe this was a mistake. I don't know why he's laughing at me. So he said, hold on a second, and they talked amongst themselves for a second. And the guy goes, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Is this a good phone number for you? And I said, yeah, that's my, cell phone. And he goes, would you be willing to come back and do this again if we need? And I said, yeah, sure. I don't have anything else to do. So about a day or so later, they called me, and I go down there, and they said, okay, well, here's the part. He goes, would you mind reading this with a couple of the guys we're thinking of picking to be the lead in this movie? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't care. Well, all right. So he gives me the paper, and it's like double what I had last time. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay.
And I'm going in with a great attitude.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, and I almost apologized. I was like, look, I'm sorry. I don't, didn't know what I was doing. He goes, no, you were fantastic. So they made me do it again with about 3 or 4 of these guys come in. And every time I tried, I cared less and less. I could tell, like, one guy that was doing it was getting visibly nervous because I truly wasn't, I was just staring at him, reading the paper, like, welcome to the Fleabag Hotel, whatever it was. And then they ran through it, and they're still laughing at me. And he goes, all right. After about the 4th guy, they said, listen, they said, this is our schedule, or do you want to be in this part? Because we'd like you to be this guy. And I said, yeah, does that mean I'm in the movie? And he goes, yes, I would like you to be in the movie. I've never seen anybody so dead. And just reading it so flat. You give absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, I have this, I've had this job. So
this has been my life, my entire life.
Yeah, this is my whole career at this point.
This is method acting, sir.
Oh boy, this is acting from life. So I go home, and then they call me, I don't know, it was about a week later after they finished picking everybody, I guess. I don't know. And they told me, okay, be here downtown at such and such a date. I said, okay. The day comes, I go down there, and it's some old hotel that had been closed. I guess it looked like it was shut down.
Sexy.
I know. So I go in there, and it looked like a sleazy, crappy hotel. And they said, let's get you into, costume or whatever it was.
It was a maid's outfit.
And basically, yeah. I was dressed as the gimp.
Wake up the gimp.
So I go over to this, and I'm like, wow, this is a whole big production. They got lights and shit everywhere, and whole big table of food, and people running all over the place.
You fucking rube.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
It's a big production. They got lights and food.
Oh, yeah, I'm expecting a guy with a camcorder. I don't know. This is like a legit deal. So I go over to this chair, and this girl's putting makeup on me, and I had to tie my hair back, and they put a little hat on me.
And give you an organ to grind.
Yeah, basically. And the guy comes over and he goes, listen, would you mind smoking a cigar during the scene? And I went, yeah, I guess. I don't care. And he's like, well, you don't have to inhale it or anything. You have to have it lit in your hand so it looks like you've been smoking a cigar while this guy comes up here. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he goes, okay. And one more thing. We got about 20 minutes before we're ready for you. But I hope you don't mind, but I expanded your part. So when I first got it, it was about maybe 2 or 3 lines. The second time when I was reading with those other dudes, it was about maybe 6 or 7. Now the guy's giving me the real deal. It's like 15, 18 lines. I mean, it's a good 2 pages worth of crap. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't know if I can memorize this in 20 minutes. And he goes, no, don't worry. We'll just do it line by line. He goes, and I said, what happened? And he goes, dude, you were good. We needed you to be longer. We extended this scene because you were so good. And I'm like, well, okay. And then I turned to the girl and I said, excuse me, I need a latte right now.
My chair does not have powers on it.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my trailer? So I'm sitting there and I'm watching them all. And what was cool is they had this big, giant camera thing. The guy was sitting on it, and it was on train tracks.
Right. And
they're sliding it around. There's got a big guy with a fishing pole with a microphone on it, and all this crap. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to read I was eating a sandwich, too, because they had all this free food. So I go, okay, you ready? Do you think you're ready? And I went, I'm as ready as I'm going to be. All right. So they put me in this little booth that's like the desk clerk booth. The movie is called Amateur Hour because it's about a TV show called Amateur Hour. It's like a variety show that this guy wants to get on as a comedian. So when he comes to the big city, so to speak, to be on the show, he comes to this sleazy hotel, and I'm the desk clerk. So when they come up, they have the TV on. It's like an old black and white variety show, and I'm supposed to be laughing at it and smoking a cigar and not paying attention to when he walks up. They go, okay, go. And he comes up, and he says hello, and I said, welcome to the whatever hotel, and just stare at him. And then I immediately start looking at the camera because it's sliding around on the train tracks. Every time the thing started moving, I was like, like eyeballing the camera as it's going. And they would go, stop. And he goes, I said, I didn't know the thing was going to move. I'm sorry, it's very distracting. I don't know. I did it like 3 times. So I said, all right. I said, I'm sorry. I'll focus, pay attention. So I did it, and then I had to do it maybe 2 more times because I tripped over a word or something like that. We did the whole thing, and he goes, fantastic, boom, we're done. That was great. And I kept saying, man, I'm sorry. I screwed it up so many times. And he goes, are you kidding me? That was nothing. Because I had screwed it up a good 6, 7 times, 8 times, either tripping over a word or looking at the microphone or watching the camera move.
Well, you can't be too upset with an amateur. It's called amateur hour.
Right. Well, I thought I was messing up. There was all these people, staring at me.
Judging you.
That's right, they were. And but yeah, I did it, and they said, thanks very much, and I loaded up a free bag of food, and I left. So
it's the common theme your whole life. Pillowcase of food.
A month or so later, they sent me this thing in the mail, and I still have it somewhere. But it was like a press packet about the movie, and it was like a flyer for the premiere, and they had like a couple of tickets. And on such and such a date, they wanted me to go down there because they were having the premiere of the movie. And they called me and said, are you making sure we want you to go? And I said, oh, of course I'm going to go. And he said, well, you don't have to wear a suit or anything, but just dress nicely or, And I said,
no yellow leopard spotted boots, please.
No leopard spot. Well, those boots were gone by this time, sadly. But I did wear my best Kiss T-shirt. No.
Oh, I figured it was going to be Mighty Mouse.
No, that shirt was gone too at that time. But I did. I wore like a college shirt, and I dressed up nice. And you go down there, and it's like a legitimate thing. I had to walk, in front of everybody.
There was a reddish carpet.
I don't know if there was or not. I don't remember that part. But I do know you had to walk specifically in a certain pattern because you were in the movie. And they were talking to the local reporters or whatever it was. And somebody asked me what I did, and I said security. And that was it. Nobody asked me anything after that. And then I went into the theater, and of course they had free drinks and fucking food. And
you got another pillowcase of food. Damn
straight. I was chowing down and getting some free beverages, and went in there and watched the movie. And it was really cool to see myself with a giant, 6-foot head on the screen doing it. So I actually got to watch myself in the movie, and I only saw it that one time. And they said, "Oh, thank you," and I had a blast. I had a really good time.
It's the same as everybody else who saw that movie that night. It's the only time they saw it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if it was or not. But I kept calling them. I said, "Man, can I get a copy of this? I want to, let me buy one. I'll buy a video. Because I'm in it. It's a good souvenir." And they said, "Yeah, sure. Well, as soon as something or whatever." And I could never get a hold of them again after that. And I got offered, believe it or not, because I was in that movie, I was eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, and it's a good thing you didn't, because you would have lost so much money.
Oh, yeah. They wanted over $400 just to join.
Yeah.
And then I had monthly dues and all that kind of crap. I'm like, I'm not doing this unless you're going to guarantee me getting on a TV show or something.
All those TV shows that are in St. Louis.
Yeah, but I was eligible to get on it. And then 2 guys that were there saw the movie, and they made these goofy horror movies, these low-budget horror movies. And then they called me, and they said, "Hey, are you the guy that was the desk clerk?" And I said, "Yeah, that was me." And he goes, "Would you want to be in a horror movie?" And I went, "Yeah, sure. What's it pay?" And it was the same as the first one.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Free food. And
gave you a free pillowcase for the food.
A whole tray of Subway finger sandwiches, yeah. I went down to their offices, and I met these people. And they said, "Yeah, we saw the Amateur Hour movie, and you were really good in it." And I'm like, "Really?" I was talking 5 minutes, but okay. And they said, "Well, you ever been in a horror movie?" And I said, "No." I had to pretend I was in something like a warehouse with no light, and I was hearing creepy noises or just something stupid.
That sounds embarrassing.
Yeah, but I did it. And they said, "Okay, you're in." And,
you did it. You're in.
Yeah, basically. The price was right. So in that movie, my character was named the Pill Pusher. Yes, and I had 2 scenes in that one. In the first scene, I actually got to see a naked girl.
Hey, now.
Because, yeah, she was one of my workers or hookers or whatever it was. Oh, and I walk in the room and I say, "Hey, bitch, she's in the shower."
Nice.
Right. There's one of those, 5-minute shower scenes. And then I walk in and say something. Watching her get all soaked up. This is a real B movie horror thing.
Was there any urination?
No, nothing like that.
Maybe it was
guy
a Penthouse
barking in
movie.
German. Yeah, there was a guy barking in German.
Scheiße.
But in that one, I got to wear my own clothes. So I was wearing my own leather jacket and black T-shirts. And
Please tell me. Yellow leopard spotted boots.
no, those boots were gone. Those boots never made it out of Hollywood. They fell apart.
There's not one picture of those boots. I want a picture.
I do have pictures of them. I have a band picture where I'm wearing them.
Oh, you got to send that to me. That's
where
fantastic.
It looks like I'm humping a statue of a dog.
I don't care what you're doing. Well, I do care a little bit, but
so,
what's that?
Something unnatural.
Wouldn't be the first time. All right.
But anyway, that's the first scene. And then, and then the next scene I'm in is where I'm out on the street in the middle of the night and the pill pusher gets killed by the monster in the movie. So they had this big thing in a monster outfit and I get stabbed with like a big giant sword and I get killed.
What did the monster look like?
He had like a rubber mask on, but it wasn't like a Bigfoot type of monster. It was just like a guy looked like he was all burnt up or crazy or, something like that.
Like he could have been tipping $1 at Good Guys?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. I said, holy shit, it's the mirror. It's me as a younger man. Thank you. You are a fuck. But the guy in the monster suit had to stand on a box or a little platform because I was taller than he was. And it didn't look right because I can't be bigger than the monster.
Sure.
Otherwise, why is he killing me? It should be the other way around. But that time they had the cameras on the train tracks and all that shit. But it didn't bother me this time because I knew what to expect.
So you kept your golly internal.
Exactly. The second time around, they did not have the big tables full of food, and I was disappointed.
That sucks.
And I immediately called my agent
and went hungry for a week.
Yeah, basically. I was like, "Where's the sandwiches, man?" Yeah, they're down at the Subway. We'd go get one. I never saw that one because I moved before that one came out. So,
do you know if there was a premiere?
Yeah, they did email me and tell me when the premiere and all that crap was, but I had moved on at that point. But I couldn't go.
I bet when they found out you couldn't arrive, they just canned the whole movie, put it right in the trash.
Probably. They said that's it. The star can't be there.
Preacher
I brought
from
a Shakespearean bent to getting rammed with a sword.
Hey now. I knew it was that kind of movie.
Now, the day I was there when the chick was in the shower, I screwed up a couple times on purpose. Because she opens it, I remember the first line was, "Hey, bitch." Supposed to be a tough guy. And she opens the curtain and I just went, God damn. And they said, stop. You can't say that. And I said, oh, yes, I can. Because she was an attractive girl.
Well, I don't think they're going to put a dog in the shower scene. That doesn't make much sense, does it?
She didn't even have a head. I was just staring straight at her tits.
I say, goddamn.
She laughed. She said, well, thank you. That's very flattering. I went, it's going to be a very different movie in a minute. You keep talking to me.
It's going to be a felony.
Yeah. Already I got ringing in my ears. You want a movie monster? It's coming right now.
Literally.
I will release the Kraken. You're going to need a shower after I'm done with it.
And then the monster got very tired.
Yeah.
Ate a sandwich and went to bed.
Needed to sleep. I immediately went, from tough guy to, giggling baboon. Like a 12-year-old. Hey, look at the boobies.
Boobies.
Of course, she's getting in the movie because she's the, whatever the guy's girlfriend or...
Because she's got tits. That's why she's his girlfriend.
Yeah. She's willing to get naked in a D-level movie.
Oh, how about this? I don't think there was film in the camera. I think he was desperate to bang her, and this was all a ruse just to get in her pants.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. And I would have said, well, that's genius. Because I'm pretty sure it worked. I need to check your temperature.
I have a very accurate thermometer in my pants.
Yeah, that's right. We need COVID protocols right now. But yes, that is my short and brilliant movie career. Oh, and you know what? They were asking me what kind of experience you had, and I didn't want to say nothing because I was in extras when I was in California.
Sure.
People on the street, they always needed somebody so you could just walk around or just be in it. I said, yeah, I did that. And then that thing we did at Mike's apartment?
Matt TV?
Well, I mentioned that, and I said, yeah, that was like a public access show.
Did you mention that that one of the guests was an 18-year-old exposing his butt?
No, I left that part out.
Well, someone else
left the part out where you did not touch the applause button.
Where someone else was pulling my cheeks apart to make it talk, and it's probably got my butthole showing.
We need to submit that to the Oscar committee. You were Ace Ventura long before he did it.
Ace Ventura never showed his butthole.
That's right. But yeah, I mentioned that show as experience, like I knew what I was doing. I had no clue. Yeah, which goes to show you just need to be open to whatever the universe shows, and then you get in all kinds of wacky crap. But there you go. That's my whole movie time adventure.
I think most people who have a movie experience story probably involved like a bang van.
Yeah, by the bang van. No, there wasn't nothing like that.
One-way mirror, something like that.
So I immediately walked around with a cape and a beret for a couple of weeks after the premiere, hoping that somebody would recognize me at the mall, but no one did.
Did you wear an ascot?
No, I didn't think of that. I should have.
You walked around part
That's like
Elvis.
The perfect old man accessory, the big ascot.
You were part Elvis, part Charlton Heston.
Yeah, and I just walked around like I was extremely busy and had no time to talk to you. Excuse me. And I just walked real fast.
You whipped out your Star Trek phone, the flip phone from the mid-'90s, and said, "Get me Darren McGavin on the phone."
That's right.
Best.
I don't have time to talk to you. I had to wing out to the coast.
Shut Up, I'm Talking with Matt Powers and Larry King Guy. Available on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio.